Alright guys, it's recording. So, today's lesson in American history from the team room, Cesar Chavez, is going to be about persuasive writing about the Revolutionary War. So to start, I'm going to talk about a guy named Thomas Paine. Thomas Paine was an Englishman who moved to America right before the Revolution, and he really hated the crown. He really hated the English king and the way that they were running the government. So he wrote a pamphlet called Common Sense. And in Common Sense, he talked about how much he hated the crown and the way that the English treated the Americans and the way that their relationship went. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to write our own pamphlet to try to persuade an audience to believe what we believe. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to hand out a copy of a segment of his pamphlet called Common Sense so you guys can share it. You can kind of just go through it real quick. What we're looking for is we're looking for places where he shows his opinion, where he shows facts, and how he tries to appeal to the audience. How does he try to get you to agree with him? Okay, he's got a point of view. He really hates the English crown and the way that they treat the Americans, and he wants you to agree with him. And he doesn't know if you already agree with him, if you do disagree with him, or if you know nothing and you're just like, who is this guy and what is he talking about? He has no idea. So his entire essay is to make you to make you agree with him. So I'm going to give you a minute to go through that and kind of just highlight a spot, maybe a word or two that says, I really don't like the king, anything like that. That'll be good. Okay, hopefully that's long enough for you to have gone through that. Alright, so write down your details that you found, and we're going to talk about, I'm going to give you some current issues that you guys might have some feelings about, and you're going to write an essay trying to persuade your audience to agree with you. So the four topics I'm going to give you are change the driving age to 21. Okay? Change the driving age to 21. So you can argue for it, you can argue against it, but you have to convince your audience that you're right, whatever you pick. And maybe you say no one should ever drive and we should go back to horses. That's fine. You need to convince your audience that you're right. Okay, the next one. Open enrollment at public schools. You know how when you guys go to sign up for a school, you have to live in a certain place or go to a certain school? Yeah. Well, this is your chance to say, well, that's done. I think that's the wrong thing. I think that kids should be able to choose what school they go to for any reason, regardless of where they live. It's not fair that people from one area have to go to one school if they don't like it or if they have a problem with the teacher, or maybe it's just a bad school. They still have to go there. Your opportunity to write a whole essay, convince your audience why students should be allowed to go wherever they want, or you can convince your audience that that's true, that they should only go to the place that they're assigned. Okay, that's the second topic. The next one. Preserving endangered animals and their habitats. So in this essay, you could write about why it's important to save the baylands right down the street, why it's important to save the rainforest, or you could write about how we should just destroy all that and make new houses and make new croplands and make a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, no notes in class. Okay, you can write that. Okay, but then you have to convince your audience that you're right. That you have to present facts, you have to present opinions, you have to be really clear that this is where you stand and you want people to agree with you. And the last one is the haves versus the have-nots in the public school system. This essay, you could argue about why some public schools have better stuff than other public schools, how all public schools should be given the same amount of money regardless of how much the people who go there make. That would make it obviously more efficient to teach the students from across all different ways of life the same thing, as opposed to some schools have really nice computers or really nice equipment, and other schools have, you know, chalkboards, and nobody uses chalkboards anymore.
So basically writing like a persuasive essay?
Yep. You guys have to write a persuasive essay on one of these topics right here. Pick the one, you pick your side, and you guys have to research your evidence to prove why you guys are right. Pretty much it. Okay? Now I have to explain to you how you'll be graded. Let's see. Where did I put that? My little grading rubric. So for an A paper, your thesis is clearly stated. You state your opinion. I know on the first sentence or two what you think. Okay? I can't be like, well, I still don't. I read 2 paragraphs and I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know which side you're on. Okay? So a clearly stated thesis. You need to have plenty of solid supporting information. So you can't just say, I want to save animals because they look sick. That's cool. I like it. Just look at that. That's not solid evidence. It has to be a real reason why you want to save the animals. Okay? You need to have thoughtful responses to anticipated counter-arguments. So part of your essay, you'll explain what the other side will say. Let's say you say, I want to change the driving age to 21, and you're going to present the argument of your opponent. Your opponent will say, no, we should move it to 16, or we should move it to 25. Okay? You have to say what you have to try to guess what they're going to say to argue against you, so that your argument is more effective. Okay? You have to try to anticipate what they're going to say. If you can come up with some good reasons, you can have your counter-argument ready before they even try to dispute you. It's a good idea to do that. And the last one is going to be obviously grammar and structure and the way the essay is put together. It can't just be scribbled on there with your left hand, your right handed. You have to make it look kind of nice so that I can read it and be proud of it and put your name on it. Okay? A B paper will have a thesis, but it won't be very clear. You'll have 1 or 2 supporting details, but it won't be, you know, I won't feel convinced after I read it. I'll say, oh, that can go either way. The grammar will be so-so, spelling mistakes, didn't indent, didn't capitalize. And then you didn't really state what your counter-argument would be. You just kind of assumed that the reader would figure it out. And a D or an F would be a lack of a thesis or no thesis at all, no evidence, no responses to anticipated objections, or a lot of errors in grammar and structure and stuff like that. So, are there any questions about the persuasive essay? For real? Are there any questions? If I didn't explain something clearly, please raise your hand and let me know. Anything at all? You guys understand the assignment? Mm-hmm. Yeah? Persuasive essay, pick a side, prove to the reader.
Yeah.
All good? All right, well, thank you very much. Time for recess.
Yeah.